Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele. And this is our final chat together for Big Brother Canada Season 10, Episode 27. Wow.
I can't believe it. We made it. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. How far we've come. How far we've come.
Especially when you're watching this particular episode, because they kind of throw in a little bit of a recap in there as well, kind of, sort of. And you see really how far we've come. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that person was in the house. Part of our experience.
Yeah, there's literally people who I was like, they were in this cast? What? But yeah, we had some cute stuff in this episode, but it's really setting us up for the end game. And then obviously we have spoilers for you guys at the end. But let's talk about the top of this episode. We're basically overall celebrating the final four here. We have two duos basically. So we see the ghost sort of like, hey, we got this. Look at us. Josh is going to throw the HOH. Yay, yay, yay. Josh and Betty are like, maybe we are iconic duo. What?
Well, especially because I thought it was a really good last-ditch effort for Jacey-Lynne to be like, hey, if you two can evade the block so many times and you're still here together, I'm rooting for you. I want to see you guys in the end. And I thought it was a really good last dig to the ghosts to see if they could maybe change their mind with keeping Josh, but they didn't. And so good on them. I had to say good on Josh and Betty at this point, because they should be a duo that's being separated. I don't know why people haven't been more focused on breaking up some of these duos. And so we'll see how that goes.
Interesting choice to keep Josh. We're going to have the alarm for the red door, finally. Counting down all season. Such a big deal that Kevin is wearing his shoes to sleep. He's at the closest bed. We're ready to go. We know it's going to hit 0 early in the morning. Let's get ready
to hurt ourselves.
Sponsored Wendy's breakfast.
Yes, it was definitely, in my opinion. I'm sorry, Wendy's. It was a big letdown. I guess that they were advertising. It's new to Wendy's from my experience having breakfast, so that's what they were launching.
Okay.
But the marketing team needs to be fired. That's so bad.
Look, we're used to these sponsored moments. We get it. This is how BB Can stays in business. But an entire season countdown.
Countdown to
for
letdown.
A Wendy's breakfast. And also they get the opportunity to practice the HOH, which is great, but they all get to equally practice. That's not really a gift, right? If we all get the same opportunity.
Absolutely. It really was a big who cares, especially since last season, they had that whole, fake out double eviction or whatever that was called. And people are expecting it to be something like that. Maybe it's going to be player coming back into the game. Maybe whoever gets to, it's just something a little bit more epic. They could still have incorporated the food, but not just to have a small room with 3 tables in there, some Wendy's breakfast that looked cold. It didn't even look like it was piping hot and fresh. The wrappers around the sandwiches just looked kind of,
they picked it up last together, night. It's
right?
Not, yeah.
And so I was just
house guests, they're like, cold bacon.
And I bet you, no matter what, they're all saying McDonald's things, right? They're probably McGriddle or something. You know what I mean? Just terminology that comes synonymous with what it is, like an egg McMuffin, as opposed to saying an egg and sausage sandwich on a English muffin. You know what I mean? And so I bet you a lot of it had to be cut out because they were not using Wendy's lingo.
But like you alluded to, they're injured. Helena has fallen. They are rushing. The alarm goes off. They are injuring themselves just to wait another 5 minutes before the door opens. Oh, I think
The
it failed.
confetti, the confetti, they're like, "Whoa, okay," and then they go into the room,
We
they're like,
made it to a door opening. Oh,
"With some cold
Wendy's.
food.
Okay.
Do you want orange juice or apple juice?" Like,
Oh my God. Okay. Well, Kevin is going to stick around and keep practicing. This HOH is important. He's ready. Helena goes back to bed. Obviously, Betty's like, I'm not playing. Helena goes back to bed. Josh eventually goes back to bed. And Kevin is like, are you kidding me? He's practicing, practicing, practicing. Because this is his comp, you guys. Here we go. Final four, HOH.
do you know that so this particular competition, they had it in Celebrity Big Brother, similar, where you had to like be skilled to get your number into a certain slot for whatever the day it is. And so I feel like it must be heavy and difficult to maneuver. And I think that Kevin was probably like, why didn't I keep Jacey-Lynne? I would win this for sure. Because it seems like you need to be a little bit stronger and have that kind of, accuracy that I'd say men, for the most part, over women, have practiced that kind of movement more than they have. And so I was just looking at it as I'm like, this doesn't even look like a fair HOH, in my opinion. But, still should have kept Jacey-Lynne, Kevin.
Well, let's talk about that later because I don't know that it's that simple. But yes, here we are. You're practicing, going around that bacon. You look like you're getting it, Kevin. Okay, let's go into the HOH. They have to obviously know their days to answer the question, and then they need to try to get it into the correct slot, but the closest is going to count and get a point. Josh tore them apart. Like, I don't know how this went so horribly wrong for Kevin, who, like we said, just practiced. Helena, I don't know what she was doing. She was still asleep. Her arm hurt. I don't know. But Josh just slayed.
Well, I think Josh is taller, so I think that his positioning with holding, why are you making that face? Like, if you don't have to be like awkward, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like he's able to be comfortably just like maneuvering it because he has longer limbs and he's stronger. Come on, Sarah.
I'm like, Josh is handsome, so he just could maneuver it really well. I guess you have a point. I don't know. I didn't think it would matter.
Do you remember in All Stars, like they had to do that like a similar table maze that I didn't think it was kind of fair a little bit because, anyways, I can't remember why I didn't think it was fair, but because the table maze wasn't fair. But like holding those things are just a little bit more awkward for women to do if there's any weight on it. And I think that Josh is probably stronger than Kevin, and he's also taller and have bigger muscles. So I just thought that he would be better at maneuvering it than Kevin.
Yeah.
I just thought.
I guess I hadn't really thought about like how heavy or how hard it is to, tilt it from side to side. So maybe, I don't know. But Josh gets 4 correct. Kevin's going to get 1 correct. And so here we are. Josh has won HOH and Kevin feels played.
Yeah, you were played. Who in their right mind would have like actually thrown you the final 4 head of household? Like, why would anybody actually do that unless they're trying to save themselves on the block?
Only Holly. Holly will be the only one who will ever do that. That's the dumbest thing you'd ever do. Don't ever do it if you are a future house guest. Why would you?
You wouldn't.
And Kevin is just now realizing it.
I feel bad for Kevin because I think that it could be his game to lose for this silly miscalculation. And
absolutely.
I don't even think, like, I feel like all the pieces were laid out in front of him for him to make the correct decision. And I guess like the fact that he felt that he was being manipulated by Jacey-Lynne overruled the validity of what she was actually saying. And he just went with his heart and was hoping that Josh would be telling him the truth, but not taking actually in all the facts, which is an error.
Yeah, big error here for sure. He says, "Congrats, you manipulated the manipulator." I mean, honestly, that's true. How is Kevin supposed to trust him now? I don't know if Kevin's brain is already broke at this point or if he thinks that these are the right words to say. I was kind of surprised of this approach with Josh. Josh
Well,
is
and Josh,
HOH, so get immediately to work to save your butt.
absolutely. But like, so Kevin was saying something to the effect of like, I can't believe you lied to me. Like, I feel so played. I feel so stupid. I wish
Yeah,
Josh, I know he was enjoying watching him squirm, but I wish Josh would say something like, well, if you knew that I was not going to throw it, would you have kept me in the game?
right.
Like, I would
So
like just to hear
this,
Kevin's answer to that.
yeah, right. This what you're saying, Kevin, is that it really came down to me throwing this HOH. Otherwise, I would be gone, which I think is the bigger picture here. Like, you said he should have kept Jacey-Lynne, and maybe he could have. Maybe this would have gone better if he had kept Jacey-Lynne. I think you could have still kept Josh had you not flip flopped
Oh, true,
all week long. As
true.
soon as
Betty knew.
Betty put her noms up,
Mm.
you are crush us dummies to the end. There's no question. You're keeping Josh. Josh is your 3. He just saved your butt at the triple. Do not act like Josh is even an option to go. And then you can keep him or not. Like, it doesn't really matter on Thursday, but Josh knew that you were going to cut him some of those days. So then you might as well cut him. Yeah, at that point.
100%, especially since the fact that he'd already told both parties that he's keeping them at one point. And so
Yeah,
it loses all credibility as to them keeping them, because it's like, well, you actually considered not keeping me. So this means you changed your mind, which
yeah,
means that you don't want me to stay necessarily. Like, you just want the other person to stay less than me. And so, yeah, definitely their flip-flopping really, really did a number on their game and their position with Josh. And the fact that Betty knew that they were flip-flopping and was able to start saying things to Josh like, yeah, he's a manipulator. He's such a shitty person. Like, he was coming for you this whole time. Like, don't trust him. Like, she got to still keep on playing that narrative. But if he had never wavered, Josh would just be like, he's never wavered against me. He's always been
right.
true to me. And so
Josh
it would
was
have been,
misted by Kevin this entire season,
yeah.
and this broke that mist. Had that not been broken, had Kevin still been so loyal to Josh, Josh would have won this HOH and would be protecting Kevin like he always had. Like, that wouldn't have changed, and Kevin would still be fine. It really blew my mind how Kevin handled last week, and unfortunately, he's seeing the results here. And he says in this first moment he'll forgive Josh if he puts him up next to Betty, not Helena. And I thought that was a really interesting statement. Again, I don't think Kevin is like doing the right thing here. And I wonder if this stuck in Josh's head as we move forward here.
Well, I'm thinking that the reason is if it just leaves another option for the veto to be used, I think is what Kevin was trying to do. Because if Kevin and Helena are both up there and neither of them win, then one of them are going home for sure. And if that's the case with, say, neither him or Betty win, there's still a chance that Helena could win. I think it just gives them a little bit more options. If the veto, like, more people to win the veto, that would actually change things or have the power to be able to keep him in the game. So I think that's why.
Well, Kevin and Helena are going to just like briefly talk here. They are like, well, I guess we got a taste of our own medicine. Kevin says Josh might have just won the whole game.
I had to say something though. Okay. You know that I've been riding for Kevin this whole time. Like, I wanted him to win. Yes, Kevin, win. And then I realized that I have a draft with money on the line and all my money's on Josh, and I win $320 if Josh wins. So I'm like, Josh all the way. Let's go, Josh. So
you're like, wait a minute. Actually,
it's a pool. Yeah. I'm like,
Josh.
I mean, how about Josh staying this week? Yeah. So I'm actually happy with the turn of events because I forgot that I had him, like, some money on him. And so, yeah, if he does win, I get to take home the pie.
I just recently realized in my draft with my patrons on my Discord, I have Kevin and Helena left. Like those were the two left, and I was
Oh.
like, "Well, dang, this went really, really well." I don't know that it's going to end super well, but all right, let's go to the awards. Canada Awards.
I didn't like any outfits.
No, it was so basic. Here I am watching the Met Gala on Twitter, and last season was iconic, and then they show up with these outfits?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, Winners doesn't necessarily have like the greatest
Winners
things.
ain't doing
You
it for
know,
me. Mm-mm.
yeah. And I just like I appreciate the effort. And I was thinking that Helena's might have been cute because I did like what the skirt was kind of looking like with that pink crinoline type thing. And then the top was like a womp womp
No.
let
Yeah.
down. So I think I like Helena's skirt the best, but I didn't like any outfits. Maybe Kevin's was okay, I guess.
Yeah, Kevin's was cute. I mean, once again, the Winners is doing the men very well. Like they're fine. And even though these suits weren't anything spectacular, they had a little character to them. But gosh, those dresses were so basic. I was so disappointed. But yeah, I think it was a Winners choice. They couldn't go outside of whatever Winners had in there.
I've found nice things at Winners. Like we've already talked about it. It's like a TJ
Yeah.
Maxx. Like it's
Yeah.
like discount designer brands or whatnot. And sometimes there's good stuff there. Like you can find decent things, but I'm not sure who's the buyer is or who's doing
Mhm.
the styling for this season. But maybe it's the same person that's been doing Arisa's dresses. Sorry, Arisa, I love you, but I haven't been a
Well,
fan.
I mean, Arisa's dresses have been far beyond this. I mean, at least
The last one?
the Mondrian style? Oh, I loved it.
You did not love it. I was
I
comparing it.
loved it.
Okay, you're in the same age bracket as me. Did you ever play like Simon Says?
Yes.
Like not like speaking out loud, but like the actual you know, the
The
little
little
machine.
computer thing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what it was reminding me of. Hold on, I did a side by side somewhere.
No, stop it.
I wasn't really a fan. Okay. Right? That was her dress, basically.
No, it was not. Oh, that's so horrible.
What?
No, I love it. Google Mondrian art. It's a whole style of art. It was very
Okay.
popular in the 80s. Come on. Loved it.
Well,
Well,
you can
whether
choose to
you
just-
liked that or not, that was still better than all of the Winners things combined. So,
and like I wish they had a little bit like they did the step and repeat a little bit better. Like I don't know, it just looks so I don't know if
yeah.
hokey is the word. It didn't look glamorous at all. It didn't look like a
Didn't.
real step and repeat. I guess it was indoors. I don't know. They didn't have enough lighting. Like it was just bad.
It was real. It was real last minute, real thrown together feeling. Yeah. Manwan was not involved at all, obviously.
Yeah,
Gotta
Mon
get
on it.
Manwan on that.
That hat was better. Absolutely.
The first hat. No. Oh no. Well, Betty's gonna win all the awards because she's the most entertaining person this season.
Definitely.
I was glad that they gave Kevin one. I was like, oh no, I feel so bad for Kevin and Helena.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna win the one with the crying, like the fake goodbye. I thought that whatever it was up against, I can't remember right now, but I thought the other one was Steph's reaction, right?
Oh, that was a good reaction.
That was
Yeah,
a really good reaction. I'm sorry. I thought it was better than Kevin's goodbye, but
yeah, but I was just like, please give Kevin this, please, because it's just been like Josh and Betty, and like I'd be like, oh my God, they're the stars of the season, and I'm sitting over here with them.
well, especially with like, the parting words of Jacey-Lynne and just being like this duo that's unbreakable. They're sitting together and heads on each other's shoulder and laughing with each other and getting all the awards. They're probably like,
Yeah.
we made the wrong decision here.
Yeah.
And Helena's just kind of like, whatever, like, I'm not going to be the one going home in this situation. So sorry, Kevin.
She's like, look at me, continuing on. All right, let's have Wendy's. Josh is going to take Helena, trying to do a little jury management or something here. He gets all of these runner ups, which I thought was so fun. Brayden, obviously, love. Sabrina, Karen. I've actually heard of Karen.
Karen was the runner-up with Kevin Martin. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of had a little bit of a feud. And so, yeah, Karen's pretty epic. You know, she's like a realtor, but she was also kind of like, she's still friends with a lot of people in the show. She's a great character, great personality. I like Karen and enjoy her. Sabrina, though, you got to see season 2. It's 2, I think.
I
Yeah,
gotta. Whenever I get a break here, I gotta go back and watch season 2
on Friday.
I don't have a break on Friday. We have The Circle and Big Brother Australia starting.
So what are you doing with this? Are you
I think
just
I'm gonna
watching?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Twitch watch parties because I don't know. It's a lot of content. I'm gonna test that out, guys. Join me over there on my Twitch. Okay. All right. So Josh does a little acting here where he's like, Helena, I want you to keep your clean record. And she's like, oh my God, thank you.
I thought it was interesting that he was saying that she didn't have to fight for her life. And
Mm-hmm.
I've played games before where that was somebody's like, they're like, I fought to be here. I was scraping, keeping myself in this game. And to me, that actually wasn't attractive to me, that they didn't have their good foothold in what was going on, that they had to be fighting so hard to stay. So, I mean, maybe he knows the jurors better than I do, but personally, I don't necessarily think that people fighting to stay in that kind of manner is a better sell. For my vote anyways. So I'm curious.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting that he, cleared it up because at first I was like, Josh, what are you doing? But then he clears it up to us that he thinks he can use that at final 2, which at least helps me that he has a strategy, that he did it for a reason. But my concern is he doesn't actually know the game of Big Brother, right? He barely watched one season. And so understanding that being protected throughout a whole game and not even being nominated actually says a lot and looks like you played a gosh darn good game if people didn't even want to nominate you.
I agree.
That's
But
yeah,
I'm not
right?
sure how the juries, like how they really think, because not like half the jury knows the game, half of them don't know it at all. So I just don't know who's going to have the sway on the opinion in the jury house.
Right, exactly. Well, Josh is going to touch base with Betty, and she's like, I don't mind going on the block. Okay. Someone else who doesn't really know the game is like, yeah,
And
I won't get
that's why,
evicted.
I mean, I want Josh to win because I want to win some money. But like, that's why it's just frustrating. I know a lot of people really want Betty to win, and I'm just like, Kevin and Helena at least have been playing, and I really wish that one of them are going to get rewarded for playing the game and like doing what they could without having won very much power. Like they've done so much in the game, so I just wish that they were going to be rewarded. I'm not sure at this point if that's going to happen for either one of them. And so it's just really disappointing that chances are 2 people that really didn't understand the game or play, in my opinion, very well, one of them is most likely going to win.
Right. Officially fried. His brain is broke. He cannot think straight. He's admitting it to us. He's admitting it to Helena. He's not sure what to think or what to do. He goes in to talk to Josh, and he's just like kind of strategy all over the place. No clear directive.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we've seen Kevin campaign or try to put in, just sprinkle in an idea or whatnot, he was so good at it, and he was always really calm. And this time, he was really frazzled and like, yeah, I don't know, like he was just like he malfunctioned absolutely.
He really did.
And just seeing Josh sitting there watching him smiling, like I'm sure it was very satisfying for Josh that he kind of like checkmate. Poor Kevin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really like you could tell Josh was like, "Oh, look at this. How the tables have turned, sir." He for a minute is like, I think it seemed like he was like, Helena should go up on the block. How dare you keep her record clean? Then he's like, wait, would you evict Helena? Like, if she's not on the block, you have to change the noms if you win veto. Like, he's kind of just piecing all of this together in front of Josh, which is, again, not a clear strategy. He's saying, like, no one can beat Betty. But ultimately, yeah, he can't think straight. He got bested one time and he is off his game. And it's really hard to watch because he played so phenomenally this entire time.
I think it's because it's the Final Four. The Final Four is actually a really difficult thing to maneuver because it really all has to come down to who wins the veto. And so
Mhm.
I think that he just is like, I don't know what's the best combination of people to put up here. I don't know what to suggest here. Like, I don't like, I think that if he was at 5 still, I think he would have a little bit more room with like strategy and maneuvering. But knowing that it's drawn down the middle to 2v2, that Josh has turned on him, he doesn't really have any leverage or numbers or things to really pitch. And so I think that that's where he's kind of checkmate or stalemate, because like he just has nowhere to move, because he doesn't want to be putting up Helena necessarily and saying Helena go up, and you know what I mean, pitching that, because Selena could get pissed and like if she might not keep him in the end. And so I think that he just it's just because it's the Final Four that he doesn't really have any room to play.
Yeah, and he bumbled last week, you know. Final Four is hard. You do really need to figure out your strategy here. And had he not messed up to the point that he just like was like, "Oh crap, I thought this was going to happen and it didn't." You know, if he'd come into Final Four on a high like he does every week, then it would have been different. But yeah, unfortunately, Kevin is broken and we're going to go to the noms. Josh is going to nominate Kevin and Betty.
I mean, no surprise there, obviously, because that's kind of what he said he was going to be doing. I'm just still shocked that Kevin and Helena didn't come up with a contingency plan just in case Kevin or Josh won. Like, you know, like, yes, he says he's going to throw it, but like, what if it's a crapshoot and he ends up winning in the end? Like, why didn't they think of a contingency plan if that were the case? And I think that also that's where they kind of dropped the ball here,
Yeah.
no pun
Mhm.
intended, because
Right. They
they
should
should
not
have
have been
figured this
so
out.
thrown. Yeah. You got to yeah. Oh darn, Josh won HOH. You're not in complete control, but you've had control over Josh this whole time. So like, what's your next step? Like, oh, they fell apart at this last minute. And I mean, it's not the first time someone has fallen apart at the end game, but it's so crazy to watch. All right, let's go into spoilers. You ready? Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Hey yo. All right. So those are our noms. But what's important is the veto. Who's
It's the most
gonna
important
win
thing.
veto?
And the
If
person
Kevin or
who
Helena wins, they're fine. They're fine.
absolutely. But the person who needs
But
it the least is going to grab it.
who's gonna win, Chantele?
Josh. Josh!
Josh. Oh my God, our late game comp beast. Apparently, Josh pulling out all of the wins.
Well, I guess all the people that he's been coming second to are not in the game anymore. So
Right?
like he's
They
gonna have
kept
to come
saying
first
that all
now.
game long. They were like, but he's coming in second. He's coming in second. And then now, yeah, he's coming in first. Helena and Kevin could not pull it out. So this leaves Betty being the one person off the block, since obviously the HOH is not going to uh, cast a vote. But Betty being the one person off the block will cast a vote to evict either. Wait, no, that's not true. Wait a minute. What's happening,
Well,
Chantele?
I don't know. We don't know yet if
We
Josh
don't
has
know.
used the veto on Betty because the
Yes.
feeds went down on Sunday, but we are assuming that Josh is going to use the veto on Betty. So Betty will be casting the sole vote
Right.
to evict.
Yes.
And
I was
yeah,
jumping
right?
ahead.
Is it
Right.
evict for
That's
4? Is
what
it
we're
evict for 3 now?
No, we're going to go to 3 on Wednesday's episode. We will see, however, this veto slash eviction goes down. We will see on Wednesday because, yes, the PB Canada doesn't let us see this. They cut down the feeds. Into my head, I was assuming that Betty
Right.
was going to cast this vote, but we don't know if that's exactly how he's going to go. But I can't imagine Josh is going to let Helena have the vote because she'll evict Betty.
I mean, it would be savage if they both are just like, Betty's gonna win, Betty's gonna win, Betty's gonna win, and just like just drill that into Josh's head and just be like, we'll see what Helena does. I don't know. I don't think that he could do that to Betty at this point, but
it would be really crazy to do that to Betty, but they don't have a lot of time. Like all this happens so quick. It was Saturday, I believe, that they did all of this, right? I thought I was online Saturday. But they like played the veto and then Arisa comes on and is like, we're going to do the whole eviction right now within an hour. So I don't think they have a ton of time to get in his head. Now, they've already been like, Betty wins, Betty wins, Betty wins. So maybe that's already in his head and he thinks he has a better chance next to the crash test dummies, but I just don't see Josh doing that. Then again, I didn't see him saving them all at the triple either.
I'm just
But the
wondering.
mist has been broken.
Yeah, the mist is broken. I think that he's all in with Betty. I think that he will take Betty off the block. He will allow Betty to do the evicting. And I feel as though she'll evict Kevin. But Kevin could maybe have gotten in her head by being like, hey, like, I'm the villain. You want to sit beside the villain, not beside the person that's never been in danger. Like, I would be better to take to the end because you will beat against me no matter what. If I'm in there pushing for Helena, I don't know, you might not be able to win, but against me, you'll win for sure.
Right.
That's what he has to just go all in on that with Betty if he has time.
Yeah, if he has time and if he can get his brain back together. Like, dude, get back in the game. You are one of the greats, Kevin. So I would like to see you try to save yourself. Odds are high, though, you guys, that Kevin is going out at Final Four, which I can't believe happened. I knew it was a possibility, but I just didn't see this happening. And our final 3 will be Josh, Betty, and Helena. 2 underdogs are making it to final 3. That rarely happens.
Rarely. And I feel as though Josh is on a winning streak right now. And
Yeah.
I could see him winning out till the end. Like, I feel like he's going to be choosing between Helena and Betty who to take to the end. And I do think that he would be rather lose to Betty and have one of them at least get second place money than bring Helena and get rid of Betty. So I feel at this point, it's going to be Betty and Josh in the final 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I do too.
I was going to say, with Jacey-Lynne going in there being like, Josh's game is amazing. Like, he was able to convince them to flip again. Like, she's going to be saying all these things. And then when Kevin comes in, like, oh, Josh turned on you. Oh, like, yeah, you got played by Josh. And yeah, I think that Josh is going to take this one home.
Yeah, I mean, when Kevin was saying that he thinks Josh won with this HOH, I was like, maybe. But when he won this veto, that's when I said Josh won this game. Josh cementing this complete power at Final Four is really, plus they also, or a lot of them saw the triple win. He really, really kind of threw a bunch of stuff on his resume. And if Kevin goes out right now, like, that's a huge thing to say that I got Kevin out because the jury just realized what Kevin was doing. They just realized what a mastermind manipulator Kevin is, and then Josh took him out. Yes. Now, Betty, no, Betty doesn't have a resume. Betty has been television gold. I mean, she's yelling at people. She's so entertaining, but not once did she play the game of Big Brother. Is that too
Yeah,
much
I'm trying to think
say?
when. I'm trying to think if I can rebuttal that. I mean, when the first time she had power, she put up her best friend in the game and he almost went home. So yeah, she's not great. Like she has nothing really on her resume. Her staying had absolutely nothing to do with her. It's that people became bigger targets that were sitting beside her. And so yeah.
I mean, it was definitely fun to root for her, to like go against Marty.
Of course.
Great. Awesome. And if she sits next to Josh in final two, that is really cute that we got two underdogs who so many people rooted for and they just couldn't win for so long in the season. So for them to make it to final two, that is really fun. But I have to give it to Josh. And even though I have been, rooting for Kevin and Helena this whole time, and I give Helena a ton of credit. She manipulated Marty left and right. Like she had him in the palm of her hand. She should get a lot of credit, but I don't think that she beats Josh.
It would depend on what Kevin says to the jury. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he goes out right now, he has the time to really spill it.
Talk the whole game up, and I feel like Kevin going to the jury is going to make a better case for both Helena and Josh, just because he's been working with them, and so he knows both of their games pretty closely. And so if he's just telling the truth about what has happened this whole season, they're going to be able to see Josh's participation in it. I think that it's actually bad for Betty for Kevin to go out there, just because he is pretty influential, and I don't think that she's going to be somebody that's going to win any favor with Kevin's going to the jury. So she should think about that, but probably won't.
Sorry, Adrian, I cannot give Betty credit for flipping Josh against his allies. Kevin screwed that up. If Kevin had been doing what Kevin had done all season long while Betty was doing what she was doing, I don't know that Betty would have won out on that, right? It was because Kevin's game tanked. He gave up or whatever he did that allowed Betty in. So I can't.
And Josh already, Josh knew that Kevin had been manipulating the whole season because he was doing it with him. So
yeah.
And
he was very aware of what Kevin did. Yeah.
And also knew that Kevin was going to flip because they said that they were going to vote him out. So, I mean, yes, she might have talked to him about it and kind of gassed him up and be like, he's a major manipulator. But I didn't think there was many things that Josh didn't already know. Yeah, I can't really give her that much credit for that, because he would have come to the same conclusion with or without Betty, I think.
I mean, Betty caught on to Kevin's game. I give her mad props for that. Good job for figuring that out eventually. Someone was going to, and I can't believe it was Betty. So I'm not saying she's like horrible. I really enjoyed her, but I just feel like out of the four, her resume is the smallest of the four. You do it. You stick to it. That's
Adrian was also asking. I didn't watch Taryn's game recap for Betty yet. Did you watch that one yet?
No, I mean, you guys know I have a massive crush on Taryn. I love him, but I do not care for some of his takes, and so no, I'm not watching any of them.
Really? What takes did you not appreciate?
I hate to get into it. Look, this is everybody's prerogative, because you guys can choose to watch or not watch me, and so we choose to watch or not watch Taryn.
That's okay.
His in-game things is what gets me. Like last season, he was like, the jury is gonna vote this way and only this way, and then that's not how it worked. And I kept thinking, that's not how it's gonna work. We don't know, because he talks to the jury when they're heated in the moment,
That's true.
And then he takes that word as gold, as if they're not going to sit in the jury and think about things. And so I watch Taryn the bulk of the season, and then I kind of skip things at the end of
That's
end of
totally
season chase.
fair. That's totally fine. I mean, I always have my own opinion, and I have not gone in the same direction as him before. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
he came
that's
out
the beauty of
correct.
all this. We can all disagree and have different opinions, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, I do wanna watch it just to see what he has to say about Betty's game, 'cause, I'm lower on her game than he is, personally. I'm also
Hmm.
lower on Josh's game than he is, and even when I did the last roundtable, all my scores were lower than both his and Melissa's, so I definitely am curious to see what he has to say about Betty's game.
I'm definitely open to any points that he makes that you guys want to send my way. I'm open to hearing it. I am pretty high on Josh's game. I think that he did a really great social game this whole time, and people were choosing to protect him. He
I
is beloved, and then he turned on his allies at the last minute. I love it.
I guess why I'm not so high about Josh's game is that I know that he was doing it to work with the crash test dummies, but I didn't like that he kind of threw away his relationship with Herman, threw away his relationships with Moose. And I know he was doing it because he was preserving something else, but like that could negative affect him in the jury. And I thought that that was just kind of not great. He also threw away his relationship with Summer, really didn't give her a good excuse as to why she was going up, and she's going to the jury house bitter, threw up his best person, Betty. Like, yes, they've mended their relationship. So he just kept on making all these very obvious mistakes
Mhm.
that I just was like, oh, that's not great. I really like you. I've liked him all this whole season. I've wanted to see him play, and I've enjoyed him, but I just don't know if he's the greatest player, but he's showing he's doing some good work here at the end for himself. So I'll give him
Yeah,
props for that. Mhm.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, not every season does the best player win. I mean, that's a whole debate right there. Is like because they won, are they the best? I don't think so.
The
They're the
best player
winner.
usually doesn't win.
Yeah,
Usually that
because
doesn't.
people take them out, and that's what you should do. Take out the great players. Don't let them win. Don't let them beat you.
Also take it I'm always like, take out the people that are gonna take up that final 2 seat. No goats at the end, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
I
lose a
mean,
seat.
Josh is so beloved. Can you imagine him sitting there? He's gonna
It's a cute
probably
little
tell them
face.
he's really a doctor. Oh my
Oh,
god.
no, no, you
He's
shouldn't say that yet though, because like, they might not wanna give him the money. Maybe, you
Oh,
think?
that's true. I think it's a good reveal, but you're right. If they think he's wealthy,
They might be like, "He doesn't need this money. He doesn't need to be here."
yeah. That's an interesting
Unless
thought. But
unless I'm not sure where he practices, but if it's within his indigenous community, and he'd be like, this money is to go to bring, like, I work as a doctor and la 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 la, and like I want to create a center, blah 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 blah. Like, then maybe he could get the kind of humanitarian vote of support. So depends on how he uses
yeah,
that, but it could be a negative.
he's just so dreamy and he speaks well and he's gonna say things and I'm gonna be like, yes, give him the win. Yes. If
Give
he's
me the
sitting in front of
win.
you.
Yes, me and the audience on my draft.
That's right. And I was there. I was part of the audience. I said draft Josh. So I win over there on your channel if
Yay!
Josh takes it, who I'm putting my money on right now, assuming that Kevin's out. I hope Kevin is not out for some miracle of a reason. I hope Kevin sits in final two, and I hope Kevin wins the whole gosh darn season. But I just don't think that that's happening.
It can't, even if I think that at this point it's too much of like I got you, Kevin. I gotta follow through with it. Like, sorry, man. Like, even if he makes really good points, I don't think that he's gonna listen.
Who are you? Are you voting for a favorite, or who do you want
I
to
don't
win
even
favorite?
know.
I know this season is so hard because there were a lot of faves.
Yeah, I don't
No, you had
know.
a lot
I'm
of non faves.
Oh no, I agree. I'm agreeing. Sorry. I was just still thinking about like who I'm like, oh, I like them. I like them. Oh yeah, I like them. I'm wondering though, it's going to be super split across the board, and I'm wondering if Marty's
Yeah.
just going to win from having so much dominance. I'm not even joking. You think I'm joking?
I know. It's not funny though. It's not. It's real. It's
Yeah.
not a
So
joke.
everybody's not going to go for one singular person, and I think that splitting is going to
Yeah.
allow Marty to easily take it. Yeah.
That's like the
So
one person I don't want to win. Is that horrible to say? I'm so sorry, but it's
I
just how
think
I
it's
feel.
fair. I like Marty the least out of everybody that played this season. I don't want him to feel as though his like this is for you Canada, this is for you Canada like actually worked and that he is Canada's favorite player. Like I just don't want him to think that that's true.
But he
But
will.
he
You're
will.
right. Because Twitter is split and Twitter doesn't even get to run the vote. Like so I would be happy if Summer won. I'd be happy if Herman won. He was my fave for a long time. Obviously, I probably will vote for Kevin now. I wasn't planning on voting, but now
Yeah,
that I
let's
think
let's
Kevin's
vote
not
for
going to
Kevin.
make it.
Let's try to get Kevin to know that the super fan or like people that really like strategy were supporting his game. I'll vote for Kevin.
Yeah.
I can get behind
Yeah.
that because I would like to see his gameplay be rewarded because that's really usually what I want to see in the show is I want to see people doing what they can to get to the end and win. And that was what I think was most exciting for me this entire season is what is
Yeah.
Kevin going to do? How is he going to manipulate to be in his favor? And that's kind of what I was looking for in every episode. So
Yeah.
I want to give him I want to reward him.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
for sure. For sure. Uh Get those votes. Get
I mean, I
those
love Summer,
votes. Summer was
I,
super entertaining.
but
I'm
she
not
wasn't
mad
a
at that.
gamer, and I'm a
Wasn't
gamer.
a
I'm
gamer. I
sorry.
hear you. I hear you.
I'm
I
not
hear
here
you.
for the TV show necessarily. I'm here for the strategy.
Well, you're also about to be there being New York City with Rob Has a Podcast and all of those shenanigans going down over there. How excited are you? What's happening? Tell us more.
I'm pretty excited. I saw one of the flyers. So Wendell and Bryce are going to be having a party, a pre-party kickoff party at I'm guessing the name. I think it was Mustang Sally's in New York, where there's karaoke going to be playing. There's some guests. So Lulu and Lala are supposed to be there. Cash from Love Island supposed to be there. Who else was on that list? There was just a bunch of people that I'm like, I'm gonna meet these people. Yay!
If you meet Lulu and Lala, tell them I said hello.
I will,
Love
100%.
them.
Maybe I'll do
Also,
like
I
a
had such a crush on Wendell. I'm so excited you might meet him.
I'll
Mm.
100% meet him. I'm going to his party and he's going to be there on the Wednesday, I'm sure as well, which is where the after party for the know-it-alls will be. So I'm sure I'll make sure I get a photo with Wendell and I'll put on all my
Oh,
flirting. I'm going to wear fake
oh,
lashes. So I'll be batting
yes.
lashes like crazy.
Yes. Yes. Do
So
it.
pretty excited. Going to meet most of the podcasters from Robin's Podcast. I'll be going there with
Mhm.
JoJo, so that will be really fun too. Just having a little partner in crime, getting the pics and chatting up with the different people that are going to be there. I saw that Jamal is going to be there as well. Jamal Shipman. He said
Mhm.
he was on a podcast with Rob, and he said he's going to be there. So I'll probably get to meet him as well. Like I said before, heard that Chanel might be around, so I might meet Chanel. So there could be a lot of survivors that I'll get an opportunity to meet, which is fun.
Yes.
And it's going to be the
Yes.
first time in the real world. Like I'm used to bouncing around all over the place, and for the last 2 years, I've really been like a
I know,
homebody.
right? I
And now
know.
I get to be like myself again, like get dressed up, wear some heels, go out, get on that dance floor, tequila, let's go.
Oh boy. Oh
See?
boy. Chantele with tequila. I can't wait to see it all. I'm so excited for you. I can't, yeah, doing stuff live is so exciting these days and meeting these people that we watch is so exciting. My Twitch is the Sarah
The Sarah
Atwood, I
Allen.
think,
Yes,
right?
it is. Mhm.
The Sarah Atwood. Over there on Twitch, I will be watching some shows that are about to start, like The Circle and Big Brother Australia. Thank you, Ellen. It starts this Monday, the 9th, but I'll show you time. So that's probably Sunday for me or early Monday.
I might have to join you on that one.
Yeah. Chantele has
Like
an open invite. Join me whenever.
Yeah, I'll probably come and watch that with you because I was gonna like people have been like, watch it, watch it, watch it. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to cover it, but I will watch it. But if you're gonna do a
Yeah.
Twitch party, like I'll definitely join in on your Twitch party if you'll have me.
Yeah. So so probably Monday, since it's 3 times a week, probably Monday, Tuesday. I don't know if that's enough to get it all in there or if I need a third day. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. But join me over there on Twitch. But obviously, this week we have Survivor 42 as usual on Wednesday, but then Thursday is a 2-hour finale of Big Brother Canada. I will be live with David afterwards. Wednesday night is the eviction going down to 3. What will you be doing for that, Chantele?
So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. So it depends on obviously where we are in New York. Like if we're already at like the theater where it's going to be happening, I'm sure that we'll be mingling and not really worried about this final 3. Maybe we'll be watching it on our phones, but like we won't be doing a recap until Thursday. We'll get back Thursday around 9 or 10. So we won't watch it necessarily live. Watch it, then maybe do a recap after we finish watching it. Or worst case scenario, do it all on the Friday. But that will be what will have to happen. Not sure. Playing it by ear because we did hear that people are going to be in town and there might even be a party on Thursday here in Toronto for the finale. So if that's the case, Jojo and I will maybe make an appearance at the party and then do the recap on the Friday. So
yay! All right. Well, all of the stuff will be out there for you, and obviously Taryn too. Love him, support him, of course. You guys in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and all season long. Thank you, Chantele, for doing Mondays with me.
Of course.
Love it. Right. And if you guys are joining us later, leave a comment. Please let us know how you feel about Josh's HOH and like his little in-game run here and who you are hoping makes it to the final 3, how you hope this all goes down. And we will see you later. Bye.